just going, go on, have a good grapefruit cheese on that, you know, nice house. He fucking gave me a suit that made me look like the guy who needed the defibrillator a few seconds back. I mean, as soon as that prick, Bezos, jetsons himself into space and that fucking comes back, the better, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you know, I was hoping to be like, Spartans, lay down your weapons. And now it's like, oh, lunchtime, you know. Come on, let's see, crack open sausage rolls. You know, that's it. Plenty of bonus on there. Plenty of bonus. Yeah, love it. So I invited my parents to come today, and they basically were like, Sam, you're going to get murdered alive if you go out and do this on stage. And I was like, well, that's how everybody who's ever lived gets murdered. I mean, you don't go and murder a dead person, do you? So, I'm glad they're not here, because to be honest, they're retarded. They've gone off to Australia to cope with their brain diseases. So I'm quite new to Nottingham. Only moved here about a year or so ago. And obviously I'm still getting used to the language. You know, you guys speak differently over here. You know, yeah, you know. I'm not talking out, it'll get worse than that, sorry about that. You know, obviously here you go, Bonnie Blue, you know, hello. And the other person goes, you're like, Bonnie Blue day to you as well, my friend. It's just a bit afterwards that I get a bit uncomfortable with, you know, you put the bad part on, you think of the person off, you know, just a bit shy. It's hard to wank in this thing. You know, it's really hard to work to get to the other person, you know. So, what I thought I'd do, because, you know, let's be honest, comedy is a subject and it's not for anybody, you know. So I thought, what I'll do is give you a bit of a history lesson. Because if you don't like a comedy, you could at least be like, well, I'll tell you what, at least I learned something. So history fact number one, Napoleon used to put a baguette down his trousers to make his top look bigger. Did you know that? I mean, I like that fact, but it's also a little bit annoying, because I was the first to think of that, I thought, they're a fucking short little prick. I did have a baguette that was supposed to fall out of my trouser leg at this point, but to be honest, it didn't fit in the suit, you know. Again, thanks, Bezos. Also, I was hungry, so you know, I don't think it would actually have lived until, you know, this part of the set. Now I know what some of you history buffs are thinking. You're thinking, that's rubbish. You know, I know a lot of French soldiers used to have baguettes down their trousers, you know, when they were like in the Napoleonic Wars and stuff. And you know what that really means is that all French men have tiny cocks. Yeah. I'm glad that you guys a bit earlier and said, no French in the audience. I was going to say, is there any French in the audience? What do you know about the name? No. Because you thought you were a girl, I don't know. Well, maybe you were. Yeah, I mean, that's why they're all fucking horny all the time, right? Because if they ever lost their gigantic, well, gigantic is a bit of a wrong word, their minuscule bones, it just looked sad and pathetic. So, you know, feel sorry for the French, really. I know a country that does have a, or used to anyway, a giant sort of national penis was Britain. Back in the day. We used to go around the world, fucking everywhere, up, you know, seeing what we could take. In fact, you know, we fought the world so hard that China actually has a part of their history that they refer to as the century of humiliation. My century of humiliation began in 1991, peaks right now. So, you know, so the biggest humiliation of your life so far, I could say, you know, still ongoing. But if you didn't know what the century of humiliation was, it's basically where we convinced the whole nation of China to get addicted to heroin, which also isn't bad advice if you're in a struggling relationship. You know, like if you get your partner addicted to smack, they're not going to worry about how many video games you're playing, and also whether you know you've got much ambition in your life. So just think about that if you are going through a bit of a rough patch at the minute. Fuck it, I'll sit down. Right, okay. Well, that's time yet, man. You still got more force when you do. So I was thinking, it's also quite an interesting way to perhaps end the war in Russia, right? You know, Zelensky goes over, you know, with Afghanistan signing his push, drops over Moscow, and then Putin and all the rest of them, they're all in their office, and the Ministry of War goes in and goes, this is my Russian accent, by the way, hope it's alright. Vladimir, the troops will not respond. What do we do? Vladimir, you know, like... You got to do the coughing. You don't cough, you don't really take it in Russia, that's the way it works. And he's like, don't worry about it, Conrad. Give peace a chance. Also, name not Putin. We got master Putin now. So, just to wrap things up, get on to the next bit. That's my favourite joke, by the way. Look at the accent. Yeah, so before I leave, I just want to acknowledge, right, that basically this time of year, great time of year, Christmas obviously, see families and stuff, but also quite a lot of people can be quite hard. So what I'd say is just stop subscribing to that seasonal Viagra, because that will really take the edge off your Christmas. So, anyway, Merry Christmas. If you like that, then clearly you're a virgin. If you don't, it's probably normal, so well done you. Anyway, I'm going to Sam. Have a great rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
There we go, boys.